Describe the transformations of f of x equals 2 to the x to g of x, then graph the function. G of x is given as 2 to the x plus 2, then minus 3. Now this plus 2, this is a horizontal translation, and it's 2 to the left. And this minus 3, that is a vertical translation, which is 3 down. So really, those are the transformations to describe. So I could write translation 2 left, 3 down. Okay, now we're going to graph the function, and I'm going to graph both functions. So graphing f of x equals 2 to the x, I'm going to make a simple t-chart for that. X, f of x, and -1, 0, and 1 are going to be my inputs, and my outputs, let's see, we'll input a -1 for 2 to the -1, that equals 1/2. Input is 0, 2 to the 0 equals 1. 2 to the 1 equals 2. And you can use more points if you want. You can keep going if you're not sure how to find the exponential growth pattern. But for me, that's enough. So I'm going to plot -1, then 1/2. Then I'm going to plot 0, 1, then 1, 2. And if you wanted to keep going, it would be 2, 4. And that would be your exponential growth pattern. Okay, and there's also a horizontal asymptote. On the x-axis, or y equals 0. Okay, this is f of x. Now g of x is a translation of 2 left and 3 down. Get a different color. Now, a translation 3 down for this exponential growth means the asymptote is going to be translated down 3, and I'm going to use that as a base for my graph. See, that'll help me line things up. Now I'm going to translate each one of the 3 points that I made. So let's see, 2 left and 3 down. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2 left and 3 down. And then, I made these other points, might as well translate those too. 2 left and 3 down. Okay, so now I have all these points here, and I can go ahead and draw my curve. Okay, so this should be g of x. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot both of these on a calculator just to make sure I got them correct. So I'm going to y equals, and then 2 to the x power. It's my first function, and that's going to be 2 to the x plus 2, then minus 3. Yeah, let's graph that. Okay, there's f of x. And there's g of x. So aside from the colors being reversed, if you compare, the graph that I made by hand really matches this nicely. So I can feel confident that my graph is correct and that my description of the transformations are correct. So there's the graph. It looks very accurate.